I think, yeah. I think I will make a very small landscape, and just I will start sketching. Actually, when we sketch for watercolor painting, normally it is not necessary to be that precise, and you need to just just to mark the important areas only. Okay, and then one of the most important thing in watercolor is values. That means a color will fade when it goes away from you, and unless you get that values to correct to some extent, otherwise that painting won't look good. And another thing is when you make sketches for watercolor, you have to look for big shapes first. So these shapes, it could be divided into 2 or 3 categories, like the big shapes. Then in each big shape, there will be, other shapes. And finally, you can go for the details. So we always start with the big shapes, the larger shapes. And all these things are connected together. And if you draw something isolated in your painting, then, it won't look very good. So all these things needs to be connected. So water actually connects everything together. No? So it's something like that. Okay, so all these shapes has to be connected, and then you can go for finer details. And these values are that also is very important. So just actually the reference image in front of me is in a horizontal manner. So I'm changing that into a vertical manner here, and the size of this paper I'm using is quarter imperial, that is 15 by 11 inches. Then considering the mass and all those things, you will have a working area somewhere around 11 by 13 inches, or something like that. Okay.
Arun, is this the same image you had shared with me?
Yeah,
that you
sure,
were okay?
yes,
So I will
yes.
just put that also from my screen.
Yeah.
Second.
So I'm actually prepared to make this in a big paper. So I have got it actually, but since I've lost a lot of time, then I'm doing it in a smaller way. Okay. Yeah.
So can you guys see this image on my screen? There is this picture of a landscape.
Actually, this I took this photo. It's very near to my home.
Your
It's
house.
around, yeah. It's
Wow.
about only 7
can see it.
kilometers away from my home.
Very beautiful.
So yeah, they make small huts on the tree to chase elephants. Elephants used to come there at night, and all these paddy fields. So the elephants destroy this paddy. So they sleep there in that small hut.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you are painting this image actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just make this hut and.
So I'll stop sharing my screen, but I'm going to share this image on the chat also for everybody.
So when we sketch, I've talked about the bigger shapes now. So here actually in this image, you can see basically four bigger shapes. One being this main subject in this image, that is the tree and that small hut. Then the distant trees, they make one shape. Then the sky makes another shape, and the ground it makes another shape. So there are actually four larger shapes. And if you look at the trees there, the distant trees, then every individual tree is a shape. Okay, so in watercolor paintings, actually, we have to discard too many details, or that is how it works. Actually, you don't have to bother about too many details, but you should catch the essential essentials of that particular shape. So that you have to keep in mind. And then this value. So here I'm changing this this painting. The reference image is in horizontal way, so I'm doing the vertical way, and I will be discarding these two trees, or I'll be showing only the those four trees only partially. Actually, I'm going for the sky first. Sky just plain blue. Actually, we can include some clouds there. If you're doing it in a horizontal way, we will have some time. I mean, some space to incorporate a cloud there. But now, since I'm doing it in a vertical way, so I'm just avoiding all those things. I'm just going for a plain sky. And one peculiarity of watercolor is it will become lighter when it dries. So you have to keep that also in mind.
Arun, what kind of brush are you using?
Yeah, actually, this is a Chinese calligraphy brush.
Okay.
So this one. Uh, Actually, this brush has two kinds of hair. The outer white hair is goat hair, and inside you have that weasels. There is there's a kind of small wolf kind or fox kind of thing in China. So this brush it can hold a lot of water, as well as this is not very it is somewhat springy. But this is a squirrel hair brush. It's called a mop brush, and this also will hold a lot of water. But its shape, it is not very stringy. Once you wet it, its shape won't come back. But here actually it is a mixed hair, so we can use this calligraphy brush for watercolor painting.
I see. And you use these brushes for blocking the when you're doing like blocking the big areas.
Yeah. Actually, you can this will come to a very fine point.
Yeah.
So you can use this brush for both larger shapes and smaller details. And if you want very fine details, then you can do with a different brush. And another thing you have to keep in mind is, light and shadows. So from the reference image, you can see that the light is coming from the left side. So you need to, okay, we will see how we can preserve that light there.
Just one more time, I'll share my screen and to show the image that we are that Arun is painting. So only that
Can you see me now?
yes. Can you guys see both screens on your laptop or your phone?
No, that is
Like
not possible actually. So that is what I tried. Last time you said something like that. So I just tried to log in from my mobile phone. So then that is why it took this delay. Otherwise,
no, okay. We actually do that. Like as in like I'm sharing the screen, my screen
I
to show
understand
the
that.
image,
But
and
yeah,
I've spotlighted both you and me. In the past, we used to do that. Like it would divide the screen in two halves. It's not happening right now. Anyway,
yeah,
I'll remove the spotlight, but I'll keep sharing. But okay, if I keep sharing, then it just shows.
yeah. But actually, I'm not very competent in using this kind of these things. So that is a problem. So I have to learn these things.
I see. I'm going to remove my. I stop sharing so you guys can see Arun's screen. So you're drying up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it important to dry the sheet? And if we skip this step, what will be the impact?
Arun, can you hear us?
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, so I think Swati has asked one question. She's asking is it important to dry before we put a next coat?
No, it's not like that. Actually, there are different ways of doing a watercolor. One is wet on wet, and actually you keep on applying paint on a wet surface, but then you have to be very careful. You have to see how wet the paper is, and that is very crucial. Then wet on wet is it will take some time. So now I am just trying to finish this painting. Okay, so so that is why I am drying this. Okay, so I'm not going to do this wet on wet.
So you are
Actually,
doing layered technique, basically layering of pigment.
Yeah, yes. That is it. And wet on wet, it will happen in between. Actually, there is no clear cut distinction between wet on wet and dry, and all these things are something will be prominent. Even when you do wet on wet, you may have to dry some areas, or you will have to wait for some time to get the paper dry. Especially when you do the finer details, you will have to wait for the paper to dry. Actually, there are watercolors. Watercolors are used for used in many different ways. You can make highly realistic paintings with watercolor, or this loose style. Actually, people associate watercolor with this loose style of painting. So, but you can make a highly realistic drawings or paintings with watercolors. That also is possible.
So, guys, as such, it is 4:30, but Arun will, I think Arun, if you can, we'll continue for 10 more minutes
Oh, yeah,
to
sure,
complete the demo.
sure.
Yeah, if you guys want to stay back, it's great. Arun will complete the demo. And also, you guys can join our WhatsApp group if you have not. We'll also share the recording of the demo part on the on our WhatsApp group. So I will add the link in the chat on WhatsApp for WhatsApp. So if you have not joined, you could join. I've shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat as well, if you haven't got it yet.
So
guys,
now, yeah,
mhm.
now actually we should go for the final, that fine details, and that also will take some time.
Sure, sure. So
Yeah.
if anybody has any questions about this format, um, this is the time, go ahead, you can ask from Arun before we end the session. Okay, cool. Arun, do you have any last tip to offer to, like, any quick tip to offer to anybody towards the end
Uh,
before we end the
uh,
session? So
yeah. Actually, you know, one thing is, painting is like it's a kind of an extremely private thing, like uh, something like meditation. So you have to practice. You have to do it more. The more you do it, the more you will get on. You know that an idea, or you'll improve. That is it. Work and work. That's all. So that is the thing.
okay, sure. Thanks, Arun. I
Yeah,
think there
thank
is
you.
definitely a lot to learn from you. We just started with one small session today. Hopefully, we can do some more sessions in the future. So,
Yeah.
with good
Okay.
connectivity, which we can do it in
No, actually,
advance. So,
that we can anyway. This is the first time now, because one thing,
yeah,
I'm not that much familiar with the Zoom interface, or these kind of
yeah.
things also. So maybe anyway, I'm extremely sorry for that. I'm very
No,
sorry
no,
for that.
not at all.
Okay.
That's fine. I think we
Yeah.
really enjoyed your session. I think
Okay.
Swati, do you have any questions before we end?
I just wanted to know, can we use poster colors also for as watercolors? Or any specific colors do you recommend?
Actually, there's a special a different medium called gouache. So gouache means that is nothing but poster color. So
Yes.
so watercolor means that is transparent, whereas poster
Mhm.
color is not transparent.
Yeah,
The reason is the poster color, the pigment has some white chalk powder, or something like that,
I see.
whereas watercolor is more pure pigment. So only
Mhm.
few pigments are really opaque, like black is opaque, and so
Yeah.
some paint you will find opaque definitely, but poster color, almost all paint is opaque. But there is
Mhm.
nobody is going to prevent you from using a watercolor with poster color, or all masters, watercolor masters like Joseph Bookwich, or this Alvaro Castro, they use white all the time.
Yeah.
So they use white, and but most of their painting areas will be transparent only, and very special areas they use this white and black, and all kind of things. Okay, so there is no such restrictions, but it is a personal, it's a personal choice. So that
Yeah.
is what I understand about that.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Can I just quickly flash my painting that I did today?
Pardon? I didn't get you.
Do you have any feedback on my work?
Yeah, sure. But I haven't seen your.
I'm showing it on my screen.
Okay,
On
this
the
one.
screen.
Yeah. Oh, that looks nice. Yes. Yeah. So actually, this kind of a style, you know that you can use poster color very much.
Mm.
Yeah. Yes, most of the colors you have applied rather opaque way, no? And
Yeah.
yeah, but actually in watercolors, you won't normally you won't find those sharp edges and kinds of thing. And even in nature, you won't see that. Everything is is connected, and actually you have to make a lot of you have to observe a lot of paintings from masters. Then you will see that you won't find isolated things in painting.
Mm.
So that is why in those days they make this still life studies a very important thing. So when you do still life, when you place a red apple near a green apple, so the redness of the red apple and greenness of the green apple, both get affected by both. So a green apple is not just green. The color of that that thing is affected by its surroundings.
Yeah.
And so it's shape and how we see these things and all these things.
Mm.
So you can try like that also, but of course, if you watch this great watercolor artist, then definitely you can learn quite a lot. But those colors are very, very beautiful, no? Very vibrant, brilliant colors. So that's good.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.